Representative Bratcher, in the 2020 session, you supported and carried a bill for criminal justice reform that dealt with expungement. So tell us about that bill and the process of getting it passed in 2020.
Well, a lot of Kentuckians, including me, when I first heard about this, couldn't believe it. That if you get charged with a crime and it becomes exonerated, or if you go to court and get not guilty, that crime stays on your record. It did before this bill. And several people, the chamber, GLI, several people brought it to my attention and asked if I would, if I knew about it and if I would carry it. And I said, sure. It's just ridiculous that was going on. I had no idea, and it passed, and I'm very happy that it passed.
Absolutely, and criminal justice bills seem to be one of the only ones that can get some bipartisan support sometimes. So, but did you have any pushback on this bill in particular?
I got no significant pushback at all. Now, there was some law enforcement that had some concerns, but all of them supported it eventually. And we made a few tweaks. I can't really remember what they were, Jacqueline, but we made a couple of tweaks and everybody got on board on that.
And so why did you decide that you wanted to be the one to carry this legislation? Obviously, you guys have a lot of members within your caucus. Why was it important for you to carry this?
Well, I'm on the Judiciary Committee, and I'm a non-lawyer, so I could explain it in non-lawyer terms. And I get a lot of compliments for that. Nothing I seek, it's just, I'm about as far removed as an attorney trained person there is. So I'm pretty plain spoken, and you know, the Judiciary Committee can get quite complicated, and somebody needs to, and I'll fill that role if I have to, needs to come in and put it in plain English. And this bill, once it was explained in plain English, everybody got on board. There was overwhelming support from not just in the General Assembly, but throughout Kentucky. I was getting lots of emails and whatnot on how positive people were about this.
And corrections is one of our biggest funding issues in the state of Kentucky. A lot of our budget goes to corrections. So criminal justice reform bills are extremely important, and we just want to improve our criminal justice system in particular in the state. And right now, especially in Kentucky, a lot of people are very excited to make those kind of changes. So how can people get involved in creating that kind of change, and what kind of criminal justice bills need to happen next in the General Assembly?
Well, I like the bail reform bill because, if you're a rich person and you commit a horrible crime, or if you're a poor person, you commit the same crime, the rich person's going home that afternoon and we know it. But the poor person is probably sitting in there quite a while, and it's just not right. So I like the merits and the overall attributes of the person to be involved instead of the money aspect. So I will be supporting that. And I think that would be a significant reform to Kentucky's criminal statutes.
So this is a wonderful topic, and I'm glad we got to talk about it today. But another thing that I know a lot of people are curious about, and you continuously give updates on Facebook, is the status of Representative Bam Carney, who has been in the hospital for quite some time now, dealing with an illness. So I wanted to get you to talk about maybe where Bam is at right now in terms of his road to recovery.
Well, Bam Carney is probably one of the most, if not the most beloved person in the General Assembly.
Absolutely.
I mean, he had no enemies that I know of, and everybody loved him. We were all he's like a brother to both parties. They care a lot about him, and he had an unfortunate event right around Christmas Day. And it's been a long struggle back, but he is improving. He is now in a Danville hospital. If you go to my page, my Facebook page, you can get the address to send him a card. He is taking cards now, and that's a big step. I get a lot of the updates from his brother, Mark Carney, on his Facebook page and through communications. Jeff Hoover has always been real good about giving the updates on Bam. They were really tight. And it's just something we're all praying for, and I think some of our prayers are being answered, and let's hope it does. I want to see Bam Carney back on the House floor in full capacity. That's my goal. Absolutely. So that's my prayer.
Yes, and we are all thinking about him all the time. We miss him a lot in the General Assembly. Like you said, I can't think of a single enemy that Bam would have had. He's fun, and he's always, willing to take those hard votes and, do what's needed to be done. So we're thinking about him all the time.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else in the upcoming session, 2021, or leading up to 2021, that you think is going to be critically important and that you want people to know about?
We all know what's going on. We have several issues facing our state. We have some unrest in the streets, and we have the COVID-19. The governor has took full control. There's a lot of things the governor has done that I approve, and then there's a lot of things that I haven't approved. And I've been, I've been as straightforward. I didn't want to get overly partisan with the things I disapproved of. I know that we have an unemployment problem that is really an issue, and the governor says he inherited it, and he did. We all have our finger on that problem, our fingerprint on that problem, but he needs to fix that, because I've got some issues in my district that are heartbreaking, and people haven't received a dime since April, and some in March, and that's just unacceptable. So I hope that he will tackle that. He has said that he doesn't want the legislature in session, and we are dormant right now. But when we come back in January, hopefully we can work together with him and make some good improvements. And I think many need to be made.
All right, well, thank you so much, Representative Bratcher, for sitting down with me today.
Sure, thank you, Jacqueline.